Hello, everybody. Welcome to Faith Filled Friday. Hey, folks. It's Pastor Steve from Christ Presbyterian Church in Tucson, Arizona. Welcome to another edition of Faith Filled Friday. Fridays at noon, Tucson time, I try to come online and just give a little challenge of faith, a little reminder that our faith is important to us, not just on Sunday morning in worship, but all through the week. I'm here in the sanctuary today because we have some fantastic workers that are filling our sanctuary with some really wonderful music as they do some work on the carpet area by the pulpit and the new carpet area over by the choir. Thanks to you and your generosity, we're able to make some improvements here in the sanctuary. Some needed improvements for safety, as well as for cosmetics. You know, it occurred to me, I'm going to come over here and sit down. It occurred to me that John Calvin, who kind of is known as the father of Presbyterianism, really started helping us get things going in the early 1500s when he was in Geneva, Switzerland. He had a very interesting approach to worship spaces. Up until that time, the Roman Catholic Church was really the most popular Christian church. And the beauty, if you've ever been around the world, especially in Europe and other countries, you know that the beauty of sanctuaries, particularly in the Catholic tradition, is just astounding. It's gorgeous, with stained glass windows and statues, and some of the sanctuaries are just exquisite. When John Calvin really rose to fame and becoming a prophet and a preacher in the church, he wanted to do one of two things. In part, he wanted to do anything not to be Catholic, which is just so sad. And then what he did was he changed the sanctuaries. He took out the stained glass. He took out the musical instruments. He took out any statues. He took out the pews. He would preach for a couple hours at a time while people stood listening to the word. The only thing he kept in the room was the pulpit from which the word was proclaimed. He was all about grace through faith and sola scriptura. The Bible was really the center of everything for him. And so he took out anything decorative, anything that would distract people. He was really into suffering, in terms of through our own suffering we find our way to God's grace. And Protestants in particular have sort of changed over the years, and we like a little bit of comfort. And so we provide that here in our sanctuary, comfort and safety. And sometimes I know that it seems odd that we spend money on things like we're putting strips down the edges of where the stairs are over by the pulpit because people keep missing them, and we're hoping that visually people will then see those steps and not fall and trip. But we do believe that there should be some comfort in worship too, so that you can focus on your relationship with God. And we try to find a balance between our comfort and our need simply to be in need of God. And here, and we find a balance in spending the monies that are given to the church on its campus, as well as going out in mission work and so many other things. And it just occurred to me as we're doing all of this that that's really an important thing for all of us to find in our lives, a real sense of balance. Balance between what we need for ourselves in our lives and what we need to be doing with and for God in our faith life, in our community life, and just about anything. You've got to find balance. It's really, really important. And it's always a balance between taking care of yourself and taking care of others. And so that's a challenge today that I lay before you, that whatever resources you have, find that balance. CPC does a really good job as a church and a congregation in finding that balance of what we need for ourselves to worship, to grow in faith, and yet to reach out into the community. So I pray these bits of monies that are spent on upgrading and updating and creating safety and some new carpet over there by the choir section is really going to help beautify the sanctuary, but make it safer for us. It's not going to stop us from reaching out into the community, because that is our number one thing to do for God, and show people the grace of God in Jesus the Christ. So, your challenge today is to find your own sense of balance in your life. Now, just so you know, I'm taking a little break. I'm gone until, I'm out of the church office until September 23rd. So there won't be Faith-Filled Fridays until late September. So thanks for joining me. Take a little break. Find your balance. That's what I'm going to be doing, finding my balance. I encourage you to do so too. Grace and peace to us all. Amen.